Oh, Melanated family. What's up, man, on this Friday night? How is everybody doing? Welcome. You feel me? Welcome to the Melanated Convo, man. I'm your brother Harrison, your unity coordinator. You feel me? Empowerment specialist is what I like to call myself. You feel me? So, a few things I want to touch on tonight with the family. Ketanji, I want to make sure I say that sister's name right. I've been saying it wrong all day. Ketanji Brown Jackson. We're going to talk about that sister being a Supreme Court judge, first ever out of, hundreds of white men. We're going to talk about um, how does that affect black people? Like, what is, in my opinion, there are layers to how something like that actually affects us. When I go online, a lot of general statements about how something like this can actually affect us. But I want to get into it on how a black woman, right, beautiful black sister, being elected to a position for the first time ever. We have to unpack that. There's layers to that. Feel me? Because Obama was similar. First black president. Everybody's like, oh, he's black, he's black. There's layers to it. You feel me? So we're going to talk about that. Ketanji Brown Jackson. I've been seeing everybody weighing in on the sister being voted in. I seen some clips of how she was treated by Republicans who was on it flat out. It was some racist shit, like how they were attacking her. And, the whole Democratic Republican gang bang mentality, it's always been kind of weird to me. But it seems like they was attacking her sister. Cory Booker had to come to her defense. She was crying. And I'm looking, see, look, I'm for my people first. When if I find out you black and you do things that negatively affect us, say things that negatively affect us as a whole, we gonna handle that. But in general, everybody's my people. Everybody who look like me, I'm considering you one. So I'm seeing this sister who looked like my mom and my auntie. She got tears coming down her eyes. And she's trying to be strong for the moment. This is big. You know what I mean? So everybody's asking, is she a black woman we should be looking at as an inspiration? How should we view her new position in this country? We're going to get into that. First thing I want to discuss, though. A part of why I want to do the video tonight, too. So I am in Sacramento, California, like I preach and I say to everybody watching a lot of the time. So I'm in Sacramento, California. Before we talk about Ketanji Brown Jackson and what her new elected position means to us as a people, first thing we're going to get into is this Sunday, right? This Sunday, I want to tell y'all about something that's going down this Sunday. If you're in Sacramento, all my fans and people who rock with me, if you're in Sacramento, California, this Sunday, something is going down that I think people should be aware of, right? So a weekend ago, there was a tragedy here in Sacramento, California, where 6 people were killed, 12 injured. This was we are coming to find out gang related type shooting, brothers with grudges against each other, different things going on with each other where they feel once they see each other its own type of situation. You see what I'm saying? As more news come out, it's being presented to us that these is black men who were shooting at each other. Some innocent bystanders got hit. So this Sunday, my brother Barry Axies is putting together a march for the people who were affected negatively by the gun violence. And let me tell you real quick, that's why I'm doing the video about it real quick. Let me tell you real quick why something like this is so important, right? Because over the past 3, 4, 5 days, since that incident happened, I've been witnessing everything online. Like I said before, I watch what my people do, what y'all say, how the temperature of what or of how things are being received. You know what I mean? And people in my city have been outraged by what they saw, by what they witnessed, by what they heard, by what they once the pictures of the individuals come out who died. This is tragic shit. I'm aware of this, right? But like I always preach, this is a tragedy, but everybody has to get to a point where you realize there's something I can possibly do. Like if I'm going to post how much this hurts me or how much I'm bothered by what I see, like I always say, everybody need to get to a point where we start doing something. You feel me? So this weekend, I'm imploring everybody, especially my black men. You feel me? This is a march for a good cause. Like this is going to bring awareness to something that we don't talk about. as much as we need to. So this Sunday at 11 a.m., meetup is at 10:30. Actually, this Sunday, April 10th, there will be a community against gun violence march. This will be held downtown, 7th and K Street at Ali Yousefi Square. Ali Yousefi Square. I think I'm saying that right. Ali Yousefi Square. Meet up at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday. The march starts at 11. You feel me? The march starts at 11. If you need more information about the event, you can contact my brother Barry Axius, 916-949-9026. This is important to me because not only have I been talking about this for about a week or so, but bringing attention to everything that happens with us in a march. Let me tell you how a march is useful, family. Sometimes there could be a particular issue going on that doesn't have enough traction. There could be a particular issue going on that something in particular isn't getting highlighted. This is just a tool that can be used to highlight something. Action needs to come after it, but this is a tool that can be used to highlight something. And when I look at, in general, what we march about, Black folks in America, melanated people, what we march about primarily is for police brutality. Like what happens to us, we don't like it. We march. That's a traditional stance in America. And I'm not knocking that. If you genuinely out there trying to help us, I rock with that. But I think some of us have gotten kind of jaded by the approach a politician will use to how we treat each other. And they'll hit us with the black on black crime shit. So we know that's jargon and political rhetoric to a degree, but remove politics and race for a minute. We need to be honest. In a lot of our communities, we harm each other at alarming rates for reasons that at this point we can't really fathom. We feel for the young men, but this shit has to stop. So that's why I think what my brother Barry is doing on Sunday is important. We need to go and support. You feel me? So real quick, before we get to the other topic, this Sunday, 10:30, meet out there at 10:30, Ali Yousefi Square, 7th and K Street. I want to see all my men out here. I've been seeing a lot of people post about these incidents, how you don't like it. Let's show our support. I know you don't like police brutality. I know you don't like these type of incidents. We talk about it, but let's be about it. You feel me? This environment is a good way for you to be about it. One of the best ways you can show your support for something or show that you riding for something is spending your time. Giving money, typing real quick and posting something, that's one thing. But actually putting your feet to the ground and giving your time is extremely important, family. So everybody in Sacramento, California, if you're listening to me, this Sunday, they're having a march for the victims affected by the gun violence that happened in my city about a week ago. This is marching against gun violence. This is solution-based. This is a solution-based event. That's the most important part. It's a solution-based event because if you Black and you care about us, to not admit that, remove politicians' racism because they be coming with some fuck shit sometime. Just in general, how we treat each other in our neighborhoods needs to stop. The urban communities where finances are low, resources are far and few between. Like we're speaking about certain communities. You see what I'm saying? We need to be honest about what happens in these communities and how the individuals in these communities act. So this Sunday, family, everybody need to start playing their part. These type of events is great for just solidarity. Being around a group of people who are like-minded, who think the way you think about revolution and something needs to be done. The first step to changing something is just acknowledging the problem. Not with a thought, like doing something that acknowledges this is a problem. That's the first step to creating a solution for it. That's the first step to looking towards a resolution. This is all a positive thing. So join us this Sunday if you're in Sacramento, California. If you don't know, in my city, Sacramento, California, a week ago, there was a shooting, 6 people killed in one incident, 12 injured. Rare for this area. So it got a lot of press, rightfully so. From what we've seen, allegedly, it was a gang type of shooting involving young brothers. So we need to, as a community, take a look at each other and determine what we can actually do. Don't mean to be long-winded, but I'm rocking with this. This is my brother, very active, who does a lot of great things around the Sacramento area that I'm from. You feel me? So the brother hit me. I gotta show up. If you available, men, if you available, I know people are busy. This is your weekend, you working. I know how life works, family, but at some point we gotta step up. At some point, we gotta say, I want to get involved, because we go to clubs, we go to basketball games, we go to bars, we frequent a lot of leisure environments. You feel me? When I go to events like this, whether it be a march or a lecture or something involving Black progress, I gotta be honest, I don't see enough of us there. You see what I'm saying? I'm hopeful that that'll change, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't see enough Black men there. I don't see enough people there in general, and we need to be more concerned about this shit when we ain't getting shot. You see? So this is a step in the right direction. Join us. 11, we're going to build. We're going to march. We're going to bring awareness to the fact that we understand we need to stop some of the shit that's going on in our community. This isn't about other people, like other races of people. When it's about racism, when it's about institutionalized endeavors, we're going to get into that. We, always keeping in mind that the antithesis of us treating ourselves a particular way comes from how we're treated by the system, but we can have separate conversations. This conversation is about what we can do to fix this problem, and there needs to be a level of accountability for parents, for grandparents, for Black people in general, melanated people in general. So family, Sunday, if you're available, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We in California. This is going to be in downtown Sacramento. This march, this gathering, this galvanizing of solution-oriented individuals. See how it sounds different? See, because I know how marching has gotten a bad rap over time, and I have said about certain type of marches and the redundancy of it, but what I'm learning, right, it's a tool that can be used to bring attention, to add on top of some movement that's already taken place. So it's chess. You see what I'm saying? We're not talking about by any stretch of the imagination marching, then going home and never doing nothing. Like I'm rocking with my brother Barry, because he does it all, from marching to going into the political buildings, from feeding he touches all aspects of what it takes to liberate us. So I'm a rock out. Come if you can. 11. I was talking about this the other day on the show. Everybody has to figure out a way to help out, whatever that may be. You see what I'm saying? So 11 o'clock, 11 o'clock this Sunday, April 10th. The meetup is at 10:30 a.m. Ali Yousefi Square, 7th and 10th Street. March. The march starts at 11. You can contact my brother, and I'm gonna post this flyer tomorrow and Sunday before I go. If you can come. But it seems to me like a lot of my people online care about our struggle. Act like it when you can, and do something that's actually going to affect change, opposed to just there's levels to everything. You can post and say what you don't like, but you feel me? Come down, rock with us, march with us, come build with us, show your allegiance to the people in your community who are struggling in this manner. You feel me? So enough of that. Come rock with me on Sunday. Now, Ketanji Brown Jackson, family, everybody talking about this sister, new Supreme Court judge, right? I've been hearing a lot of information about, or just everything online about, she a coon. We should be happy that she the first Black woman. Varying opinions about this woman and her new job, right? So let's break it down, because I think sometimes, and I'm learning this, family, as I progress in this space, I'm learning that it's a lot of gang banging going on. When situations happen, people feel like they got to take a side. They got to take this person's side or that person's side. They feel like it's okay to talk about people in a particular way. I'm learning how to treat melanated people who I feel may be doing things that negatively affects us, right? Like there's an approach, because that's the knock on her. Like, get the elephant out of the room. She's a Black woman, white husband, white atmosphere. A lot of times that breeds that breeds a mentality where you side with your oppressor based on your proximity to him. This is the thing. But let's break it down. Like, let's be completely fair, but holding somebody accountable at the same time. Did you know you can do both? Because I'm hearing all kind of shit like, fuck that bitch, she don't represent me. I'm like, wait a minute. Whoa. If this black woman has done something in her political history that has negatively affected us as a whole, I have to find it and I won't like it. But bitch, I mean, come on, family. You see what I'm saying? So here's the thing. Let's break it down because people say this is great for black people. This is great for black women. Let's break it down. A black woman. Let's remove race for a minute. Remove race and any prejudice. This has probably been a dream of hers. The industry she's in, she has worked hard. She's thrived to get to a particular position. So for her individually, let's break it down. For her individually, this is a great accomplishment. How can it not be? On the surface level, you see, if this is something she's loved to do, I read her family was in law. Her dad was a lawyer. You feel me? So she had a good upbringing. If she's worked several years at trying to get a particular place night and day, this is an accomplishment for her on an individual level. So in that regard, shout out to this sister for accomplishing what can be considered for her goals, her dreams in life, right? But let's break it down because I'm happy she accomplished her dreams. She, my sister. This is a general term of how I think about melanated people. Before we get into what you do I don't like, generally, it appears you did something that took hard work, determination, and focus. I respect that in general. See? So congratulations to this sister for getting a job. Keyword, a job that she wanted. She got hell. I'm looking at Cory Booker having to defend her, how they're approaching her. I'm well aware of this because she's black. She's crying. This woman looked like my auntie, my mama. This is my, let's stop all the bullshit sometime. This is my people. You see? Everybody hit me with little black girls. It's inspired by, okay, let's look at it. Yes, generally speaking, surface level, even Obama, a black kid who comes from a particular area in America, sees how hard it is, and see a black man reach to a particular height in this westernized structure. See, we see a black man or a black woman reach a particular height in this structure. Surface level, a kid can say, well, maybe I can be that. Excuse me, family. Sorry about that, y'all. Maybe a kid will say, maybe I can be that. Maybe that I was feeling like I didn't have no hope for whatever reason. Now I'm feeling hopeful based on what I see from this brother or sister. Surface level, sure. But here's the problem. Let's be contextual about when we speaking ill on somebody black. What I'm learning, sometimes it's just real negative and it's not contextual. Let's talk about it. If you presumably are in a position that affects our day-to-day life, because check it out. If you know a black woman, she could be the first or not the first that gets a job at IBM, Apple, a great company. She gets a new job at a great company, paying her a lot of money. She worked really hard. Nobody says, what is she going to do with black people? That's not really a connection. They say, shit, you're the general manager at IBM or Apple. You're a black woman. That's great. Nobody's going to follow that with, well, what are you going to do for black people? See? So it's not about a black woman who got a great job and an opportunity, took advantage of it, worked hard. That's not the angle. The problem would be we assume I'm black. The laws don't favor me. Institutionalized racism affects me legally, financially, educationally. It affects my community. You're in a position that affects laws and policies and making changes. I'm assuming, okay, you ain't just got a regular job. You got one of them jobs that affect change. So help me out. Simple. See, with Obama, we looking at somebody black and saying, hey, you look like me. The issues that affect me, I'm thinking since you got a seat at the table, you're going to address what I need in a way that's going to make change. You know what I mean? Not considering the fact that just because you're in politics, that don't mean you can just make change immediately. Also keep it in fact that the reason why we got to state it like this, we see a white person that's in politics, that's in power. He'll help white business owners. He'll help people who look like him. Let's cut the bullshit. I've seen Asian politicians kind of get some legislation passed that affects just them. I don't know many black politicians that can actually do that by way of them willing to, or by way of just the red tape that gets put in front of them. So the question of today's show, what does Ketanji Brown Jackson's win mean for black society as a whole? Because I've been seeing a lot of information. I've been seeing a lot of debating about what a black woman getting to this level in politics means, in the judicial system means, in family. For her on the individual level, it means, I'm sure for her and her family, it means something great. A basic inspiration level for a child, maybe. But if I have a little girl, me personally, let me tell you how I would frame it. If I have a little girl who says, Ketanji Brown Jackson just got elected daddy, grandpa, older black man in my life, you feel me? I can do that. That inspires me to do that. What I'm going to say to her, because like I just mentioned, this ain't a regular job. This ain't Taco Bell. This ain't Apple. This is a job that affects the lives of actual people in a different way, especially dealing with how we've been treated. This is something you have to include. I would tell this young girl, be whatever, good. If she inspires you to want to be great and overcome obstacles, let's get it. But just know, baby, she was working a job that can affect change with everyday people. So I'm thinking I need to make sure this little girl, my granddaughter, my daughter, whatever, I need to make sure this little girl understands her history and what has happened to us so she can feel obligated when I get in the position of perceived power, because most politicians don't really got no power like that, especially black ones. When I get in the position of perceived power or influence, these are the things I'm going to push for relentlessly. You see? And with this sister, I've heard Republicans come at her about things she hasn't done, or her stance on particular things that has negatively affected black people. I was looking for some stuff. I haven't seen it. If y'all can send me some stuff, that would be beneficial. But what I've seen about everything I've read about her, regular politician, I haven't seen anything that challenges the white supremacist structure that we live in per se. I'm not sure if she's been presented with that, but from what I've seen, in order for her to make changes, get things passed, other people have to agree to it. So her election and her winning means something great for her, but for the greater good of all of us, it's just a job, man. Obama just had a job. Hopefully at this job, you can make some adjustments and do particular things that can lead us in the right direction, hopefully. But you're stacked against the 8 ball. She's the first black woman ever. This is a white man's fraternity. Simple and put, this is a white man's fraternity. They was fighting not to allow her to have that spot. You see what I'm saying? So as just being a member of my village, I'm sympathetic to that. You see what I'm saying? But if you are black in any of these positions, your mentality as a melanated person should be black first. Like I want to make sure before all this is said and done, I speak up for the people who need it most. And if you black, you have to understand that's your people. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know if this sister truly thinks that way or not. Like, I haven't seen that being displayed, but just we understand what she's up against. Like, and it's easier to kind of coon and go along with the program than be rebellious and speak your mind. You can get a lot of shit behind that. And then she has a white husband. This makes it worse. People be like, whoa, what does it matter? She's married who she loves. Slow down. Let's think about everything. That's true. Blanket statement, that can happen. Who you love, you marry. Sure. But sometimes ideologies are important. before I give you a position that's going to affect certain things, even if just your presence will affect certain things, I have to make sure you think about the world in a similar manner than I do. And the problem with a white spouse or a spouse that don't look like you, it's the pillow talk. It's the intimate conversations. These are the people you talk about. When you see something on the news you don't like, you talk about it in your house. When you see something at work you don't like, you talk about it in your house, right? If you have an intimate partner, they're going to hear, for the most part, how you feel about most things in society. See? So if you got a white partner and you don't, simply put, if you have a white partner but you're black, melanated, and you don't like police brutality, you don't like injustice, if you speak about it, their response, if you speak about it and mean it and love us, their response is going to determine how y'all continue. They can be white and be on some abolitionist shit. I'm with you. Let's ride where I got to be at. What's wrong with that? Let's keep it real. Like, what's wrong with that? That's not what most people are talking about. We're talking about the situation where you're black and your white spouse is against black liberation. He is for police, not for police brutality, but he don't see the problem. He don't understand why we running. He don't understand the concepts behind some of the things we've been through. And this can be a racist white man or just a man white man who don't get it. And if you're a black woman who believes in what we need to do, like beyond what you do for a living or beyond your family life, but just understanding that there's some changes need to be made in our community. If you stress these things, the person you're with has to understand it and appreciate it. If they don't like it, if they stand against it, y'all not gonna be able to be in a relationship. So I don't know if it's a coincidence that a lot of the judges in black people who get really high positions in this country, a lot of times their mate is white. See, that can be because of what I just said. That can be because of who was selecting them at the time and where they were local. It's a whole bunch of reasons, but we can't leave out the fact that it could be a little cooner in there. It could be the fact that I'm hiring you knowing who your mate is. I know how they think. I know you will be more in alignment with what I want done. Because like I mentioned, a lot of times in politics, one person isn't just making a decision. You have to sway the opinion of others. So the white men get it. So when you come into office, I need to make sure you kind of think like me. So when I need something, you there for me. See? So her being elected to her new job doesn't change anything for black society, like in real time. Inspirations, that's kind of like, I mean, yeah, you can be inspired by a lot of stuff. That's not tangible. And what we need, based on where we're at, we need like tangible things that can affect us tomorrow, not just the fact that now we know another little black girl will look at her and possibly think she can be a Supreme Court judge too. But as a father, as a mentor, as a grandfather to that little girl, you would have to say, hey, you have to try to affect change for the people who need it most. And after speaking to the mayor I talked to, who was black, in Citrus Heights, a city near where I live, she spoke to that fact that it was difficult to just make changes because of the cemented, and she didn't say this, but I'm gonna say it, the cemented white supremacy that's dominating the political landscape that we have in America. It's dominated by white supremacy. It's 90-something% white men. You know what I mean? Not saying all of them are racist, but even some of them that may not hate a black person or a minority, they have these laws and these practices that they become accustomed to. It's a hell of an uphill battle. So when you see her get elected, yeah, tell your daughter you can be something, but please don't leave out the caveat. Please don't leave out that, yeah, you can be something, but the position she has, you have to fight to make changes, and you may not be able to do it in that regard. You may have to go a different direction if your intentions are to make changes for a particular set of people. You see what I'm saying? So she's just a politician. It's just a job. It's just a job. But for her on the individual level, getting to where she had to get, all the shit she had to go through, shout out to Ketanji Brown Jackson. Like, that's my sister. I support her in that regard. But thinking a politician is going to make a change that's going to affect us as Black folks, don't hold your breath. Right. But let's not speak in absolutes. I know there are there has to be some Black politicians who think, you know what, I'm going to get into this thing and they don't know who I am. I'm finna change this shit. Then they get into it and realize, damn, red tape. Not, I didn't think it was gonna be like this. That could be a thing. You see what I'm saying? So we got to give our people grace. I don't know this woman. That's what I'm learning. Being in this space where I talk about what we go through, the melanated convo. I can't. If you repeatedly do things that undermine Black society as a Black person, you do things publicly that makes me think, maybe you're doing this to appease your white boss. I got questions for you. Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smith. I can name a handful of Black men who I'd be like, Candace Owens, who I'm like, you know what? I don't know what your angle is. I ain't never sat down and talk with you. I know what I see you do on TV. I don't agree with some of it, but I would want to have a further conversation because that type of thing has to be addressed if we're going to seek liberation and Black people get into a position where we're in power again, getting into a position where we have the necessary resources. A lot of times throughout history, family, we can't lie to ourselves. The Black man or woman who would sell out the other Black people for a better seat, for a butter biscuit, for a seat in the big house, these individuals can't be left alone. Like, you can't ignore them and just go about building. They'll fuck everything up. So how do you address them? See, that's the whole topic of this discussion. If Black people have resources and have positions of power, she getting elected, nobody would care. It would just say, she got a good job, sister, congratulations. That'll be it. The topic is, she's the only, right? She's the only. And it's 2022 and we still having first Black shit. Ridiculous. But she's the only. So yes, we looking at her like, hey, you may be able to make some changes, adjust some things. Can you help us out? The white men are looking like, you better keep this shit the way it's been. See? So this is why I'm always leading back to a form of unification between all of us, because Black politician, Black entertainer, Black professional, the roadblocks you have to face, the hurdles you have to overcome, if not the same, they're very, very. So I'm not going to shit on this sister because she had been put in this position. She has a white husband. Now, I've heard some of her, when she was a judge or district attorney, I heard some of the actions she would take negatively affected Black people as a whole, but I didn't find that. What I found was just a regular attorney trying to make things happen. I didn't see anything that egregious to make me think, okay, she's going to take this position and undermine Black society. I can't just put that on her because the seat is so unfamiliar to a Black woman. You see what I'm saying? So I don't expect her to get in that position and just make some overhauling changes that affect us. What I'm trying to get y'all to do is to get out of that mentality completely. Figure out what it is you don't like about society. You're voting. If you have an interest in voting in the political landscape and figuring out things that are going on and it upsets you or makes you happy or there's some emotion there, cool. Transfer all that energy into figuring out what you can do individually to help whatever that interest is for you, your people, kids, autism, cancer. Like, pick your issue. If you Black, it should be us first in some of our ailments, but pick your issue and try to go after that directly. Find like-minded individuals who care about the same thing, and y'all can move mountains. But relying on being so emotionally driven by what happens in politics is laughable in 2022. Name, because I know there has been Black politicians who have wanted and tried to do things to just put us in a different position. But look where we're at economically. Like, look at the numbers as far as where we're at as melanated people. People have tried, but it just don't work like that. That's what I'm starting to realize. The political landscape and the structure of politics is a piece of the overall liberation. The people have to decide that's what I want. The people have to decide, fuck that. We gonna get to whatever the destination is. And for us, 13, 14% of the population, how I be seeing it, we can't really afford to be too united. I mean, I'm sorry, too like fractured. We have to be united to a degree. It's not a large number of us compared to like the dominant white society. It's not. So when we see somebody get a job, when we see things happen publicly, I'm learning this as I talk to y'all, family. Publicly, we have to sit back and see what's going on, give them grace, figure out a way to, if one of our brothers do something we don't like, sisters do something we don't like, figure out a way to acknowledge their bad decision with love and not like hate. Because I use a general consensus when speaking about celebrities and people I don't know. If I get on my platform and say, you a fuck ass nigga, I don't know why you did that. Cool. My only policy is if I seen you somewhere and you sat down next to me and just was chopping up game, I better be on that same damn shit. If not, why am I going to disrespect you because I have cameras and lights in my face and I'm 5,000 miles away from you? That's some sucker shit. That's like one of the primary problems with the internet. Understanding the non-physical, understanding the lack of a connection makes people say whatever they want to say. And I don't think that's cool to say about anybody. Anything I say about anybody black, anybody white, any individual ever on this platform, if I see them, we're going to have the same conversation. Probably in the same energy. Because who gives a shit at that point? But I'm not fronting. I ain't capping to make y'all like me or to get views and clicks. Let's have real conversations about shit. Black people are divided in this country. Can we admit that? We're pretty divided. We over here doing this. We over here doing, it's a division. And I'm starting to learn sometime the truth be kind of right in the middle. See? Not all the time. Sometimes the truth be kind of like right in the middle. See? So let's contextualize some of the grievances black people have. Because out of reaction, we see a Supreme Court judge that's black, only one white husband, another coon. That's what we've gotten most of the time. Someone that doesn't appear to vocally or in their policy choices care about the black struggle. So we're like damaged children. We're like, oh, another one. Who gives a shit? You see? And so can we blame that black person who police kill black people with impunity and it happens again and again and nothing really changes? And I mean, how do you expect us to feel? Now we need to remove the emotion and look at the logic and look at how things are playing out. But just in general, this has been a long ass, horrific ass relationship when it comes to us in this country. You see what I'm saying? So let's contextualize everything and look at it for what it is. Shout out to this sister, but I hope being black, I hope being a member of our community, as hard as you had it to get in there, I hope you understand that your melanin is the reason you having such a hard time. Be unapologetic. Because to get to that position and be cutting corners and not speaking your mind, they gonna fuck with you anyway. As you see, before you even done anything, they fucking with you. So be unapologetic. Like, speak truth to power. Do what you can, whatever that may be, to remove oppression from your people. Because we looking at you like you can do it. You see what I'm saying? So this is some real shit to the sister. Some people ain't really, it's an emotional thing. She black, first black lady, white husband, high seat, Biden chose her. Like, some of these optics don't even look good. I'm like, oh shit. But let's step back. She's a real person, real situation. From what I read, she ain't a coon from what I read. Send me something. That's the kind of time I'm on. Send me something that shows, and we can have a conversation about that. But regular black lady, the white husband could be something, but I ain't seen nothing yet. So let's look at everything for what it is, man. Let's not be reactionary when someone black that's in a position of power or perceived power, let's not be reactionary, because a lot of politicians don't have power. I read a really nice article about her. It wasn't a slanderous argument. It was just stating in a nice way, there's too many white men around for her to really make a decision, but we should be kind of happy. That's what the article said in very, very nice terms. She won't really have much power to do the real things that can affect change, but she's there. Maybe the next one. You become to get hopeful at that point, but who cares? She can't do nothing. What you doing personally? You coming to the march Sunday? You gonna start putting your feet to the ground and moving and mobilizing in some particular way? You see what I'm saying? So this is your brother Harrison, man. I just want to come to y'all on this Friday night, talk about that sister. It was on my heart. Everybody was giving her slander. Everybody was giving her too much credit. I was like, wait a minute, goddammit. It's somewhere in the middle. Because I'll state again, finally, if you black, you should care about our causes, and being black should come before any position you are granted by this society. Meaning your interest in how we get to a particular position should be important to you. You can do it you can do it covertly, overtly, however you want to do it, but genuinely that should be in your heart. My opinion. You see what I'm saying? So this is your brother Harrison, man, the Melanated Convo. Thank you all for tuning in. Go to the website. New website is up. Melanated Convo. You can see all the shows are on there. Melanated Convo on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Do me a favor also. If you listen to podcasts on digital platforms, Overcast, Spotify, Apple, the Melanated Convo, you can find that everywhere you go. Just Google it. I love y'all. This has been another episode of the Melanated Convo family. I'm out.